I am Chady Dunmore. I was the first 2010 original Arnold champion. I was also the 2011 and 12 WBFF Pro Bikini World Champion. And I used to weigh 200 pounds. Being overweight, I was at a high-risk pregnancy. I have a kidney disease and was diagnosed with lupus. And I was struggling. I was struggling with postpartum depression. I was struggling with my health adversities and struggling to going through a divorce at the time. I was very depressed. I had no self-esteem. And I feel like it transpired in me being a mom where I just didn't feel like I was good enough. And I knew that as being a new mom, I didn't want that. And I had to find an outlet to jump over that hurdle. And that's where my fitness journey started. I remember seeing a woman with beautiful arms at the gym, and she probably thought I was mean mugging her, and I wasn't. I was admiring her arms. And she was getting ready for a show. And I remember going to her show, looking at her on stage, thinking, this is so unattainable. I could never do this. I would never want to do this. And that would be it. A week later, I'm like, I'm going to compete. I know that a lot of people struggle with finding themselves and how they look at themselves in the mirror. And that's something that, I still struggle with at times, where I still see myself as 200 pounds, still surreal to me. I still suffer from body dysmorphia, where I still see myself sometimes as that 206 pound woman who was in a really bad relationship, and I had no self-worth. And although I'm getting better at loving myself and showcasing that, I feel like me healing others and being transparent with my story has been some sort of healing for myself. I think the hardest task in becoming from 200 pounds to an Arnold champion was literally the competition with myself, is looking at myself every day in the mirror and waking up and fulfilling my task. Because we have all these big dreams, all of us have these goals that we set, but completing them, is not probably the biggest task or the hardest obstacle that people go through. It's the way they look at themselves in the mirror, right? Do they feel that they're worthy enough to actually complete them? Because sometimes people find excuses and they're just like, oh, I'm just not made for this, or this is just way too hard, or this food doesn't taste as good. And it's all discipline, and it's something that you just have to stick to. When you know that you want to put in work into something that you're just like, it just lights you up in some way, whether if it's working out or playing with dogs or taking care of kids, whatever it may be, baking, whatever. Look into whatever that is, because that's what your passion is. That's what your future could be. God puts these things in us that it's not for any reason. It's for us to act on it. And there's a magic in that, where you can just grab it and just really focus on, what can I do with this? And for me, it was fitness. What's that one thing that just, fuels that passion in you, and just go full throttle with it. I am Chady Dunmore, and I am forged passion.